Napier, which originates from sub-Saharan Africa, has allowed much of the dairy industry in countries such as Kenya to survive on zero grazing, where cattle have no access to pasture but are kept in stalls on small plots and fed on fodder crops. 80% of milk on sale in Kenya is produced by smallholders, for whom Napier is the most important feed crop. However, over the last 20 years, two major diseases have hit the Napier that supplies this developing dairy sector, probably as a byproduct of the much-needed intensification of Napier farming. Outbreaks of these diseases, called Napier stunt and Napier smut, hold back plant growth, so cows are poorly fed, causing rapid income loss among people who are already on the border of poverty. The characterization of the diversity of Napier and other fodder and forage crops is therefore one of the vital pieces of research that the ILRI Genebank is working on. Through international partnerships, better adapted and resistant varieties that can be used around the world are being identified.
We have been collaborating a lot with the International Livestock Research Institute, especially in the area of Napier head-smut disease. We have managed to identify two Napier grass varieties found in Addis Genebank, originally from Swaziland and from Zimbabwe, to address the problem we have in central Kenya. We know there are maybe more than 600,000 farmers who depend on Napier for their daily production.
Although resistant to smut, these lines are not as productive as others used by farmers. Also, Napier propagation is not done by seeds, but by dividing and planting stems. This has allowed a limited number of varieties of Napier to be used widely, so an onset of new diseases might wipe out existing stocks. Research is therefore continuing to find other resistant types with better biomass production.
While we are trying to solve the problem, it is important that we bring in the other grasses to stop the spread of disease. That's how the gene bank is very important, because if we do not have a gene bank, where would we go and look for the new plants? Bracharia looks very promising because it is now commercially available, so the amount of seed we will need will not be a limiting factor.
Forage germplasm collected in one part of the world can impact livestock production in other continents. Bracharia, originally an African species, is a popular forage in Latin America and Asia, and already supports beef production on over 70 million hectares in Brazil.
Bracharia is a good forage crop because it is of high quality. It is suited for a wide range of climates. It is adapted to poor soils, drought, and waterlogging. ILRI and multiple other institutions have participated in the general collection and conservation of this species.
An ongoing partnership with CIAT, the Centro Internacional de Agricultura Tropical in Colombia, is focused on finding strains from southern and eastern Africa that are most insect and disease tolerant. But this is just one of the ILRI Genebank's many projects. Similar work focuses on a range of other fodder and forage crops. So far, over 60 forages out of the Genebank's in-trust collection of 18,000 have been identified as having useful traits for farmers.